Well. Cowboys fans, the Dallas Cowboys control their own destiny. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. I know people are saying, yeah, but the Cowboys need the Eagles to do this, and maybe they need the Chicago Bears to do this. And we're going to discuss that. But I'm telling you at the end of the day, the reality is the Cowboys control their own destiny. And if you think it is far-fetched for the 6-6-1 Cowboys to go on a 4-game win streak and go to the playoffs, I'm going to give you historical data. And I'm going to prove to you why the Cowboys control their own destiny and why I believe they're going to win the NFC East. Let's talk, Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And if you like this video, don't forget at the end to please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video or go live. If you haven't become a channel member subscriber yet, what are you waiting on? We have a lot of great things coming up the rest of this season. Now let's talk facts. Now let me start off by saying what I think is my opinion. But the historical data are the facts. And the Cowboys are good are the facts. And the Philadelphia Eagles are on another downward spiral. Those are the facts. And let's go to the historical data so that I can show you why first I believe the Cowboys can do what I'm telling you they're going to do. The year was 2011. The New York Giants were having a very tumultuous year. Tom Coughlin, people were calling for the job of Tom Coughlin. The New York Giants had started good, but they had went on a bad losing streak. They lost 4 in a row. And right around week 13, their record was similar to the Dallas Cowboys, as you can see I have on the screen. And so a lot of people were saying that it was pretty much over for them. And they wound up doing something that shocked everyone. They went and won 3 of their next 4. And they won 3 of their next 4, and they needed a whole lot of help. And there's another reason why people were saying the New York Giants are not even going to make the playoffs. Tom Coughlin needs to be fired. And what everybody said wouldn't happen, did happen. And a whole lot of other teams started losing in certain and different combinations that allowed the New York Giants to get hot at the right time. They went into the playoffs, and they went in and they went 3-0. And then they went to the Super Bowl, and they beat Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. And so don't let people tell you that it can't be done. Because Cowboys got a lot of talent. They are extremely talented offensively. And they do got some talent defensively. I'm not going to kill Matt Eberflus for the game against the Detroit Lions because I saw what he did those previous 3. I want to see what he does these next 4. We also got talent on defense. But now I want to take you back to 2022. In 2022, the Philadelphia Eagles went to the Super Bowl, and they lost by the hair of their chinny chin chin. Great performance by Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts put that football team on his back in 2022, and they were only 3 points shy of winning that Super Bowl. But the following season, in 2023, and the reason why I'm saying this is they went to the Super Bowl in 2022. They collapsed in 2023. They went to the Super Bowl again in 2024. They won last season. And here we are in 2025. And I believe this 2025 season is similar to that 2023 season. Let me show you. Tell me this isn't eerily similar. I mean, it was just a few weeks ago, and the Philadelphia Eagles were something like what, 8-2? And all of a sudden they're 8-5. Well, I want you to see what they looked like in the year following the Super Bowl in 2023. They started out similar. Just look at where they were at week 11 of the 2023 season. They were on a 10-1 run. They were on a 10-1 run. And then all of a sudden, there are other factors that contributed to this, but all of a sudden, they went from being 10-1 to losing 5 of their last 6. They lost at home to San Francisco, lost at Dallas, lost at Seattle. They won against the New York Giants. They lost against the Arizona Cardinals. And they lost against the New York Giants. And there is something that is eerily similar about the last 4 games the Philadelphia Eagles have this season. We're going to look at their schedule in just a moment. But if you look at their last 4 games, Raiders, Commanders, Bills, Commanders. If you look at this schedule, they have Seattle, New York, Arizona, New York. A lot of people think it's easy to beat the same team twice in 3 weeks. I'm not telling you that it hasn't been done and it can't be done, but that's a tall glass because you're talking about divisional games. You always have to be careful with divisional games because divisional games, it's like the playoffs are out the window, or sometimes an opponent will try to play playoff spoiler. You have to be real careful. The Philadelphia Eagles find themselves in the very predicament they were in 2023. They got beat by the Chargers. They're coming up against the Raiders team at home that's going to have Kenny Pickett. I'm very interested to see how that turns out. They are then going to play the Washington Commanders. I believe the Commanders are going to give them all they can handle in Washington. Then they're going to play the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. I think that's an automatic loss. And then they'll play the Commanders again and they'll be at home. I have a feeling they're going to lose 2 of their next 3 games. It's looking eerily similar to 2023. Now let's look at the Cowboys' road to the playoffs as we've been doing ever since the Arizona game. Now, because the Cowboys lost to the Detroit Lions, the road to the playoffs, and I thought it was the best road from the beginning. The best road for the Cowboys is winning the division. There is a slight chance with the Chicago Bears, but anywhere else, the Cowboys have no hope. And let me show you why. When you look at the playoff picture on NFL.com, the NFC West is the problem for the Dallas Cowboys because the NFC West has 3 teams that have 9 or more wins. The 49ers have 9 wins, and then you have the Rams and the Seahawks with 10 wins. And the issue with the Rams and the Seahawks, when you look at this, is very simple. Whoever wins the division, the only thing they're going to do is they're going to just switch positions. If the Seahawks win the most games, they go to number 1, and then the Rams will be number 5. And these could change numerically 1, 2, 3, or 4, depending upon where everyone else finishes. But it looks like the NFC West is going to get the number 1 seed. So either the Rams or the Seahawks are going to be the 1 and the 5. They are going to be the 1 and the 5. When you look at the Packers, they seem to be in command of the NFC North. When you look at the Eagles, they are on a downward spiral and the Cowboys on the come up. And when you look at the NFC South, which is between really the Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers, if they flip-flop positions, one of them will be in and one of them will be out. So in the grand scheme of things, when you look at the fact that the Seahawks or the Rams are going to get the number 5 seed, the 49ers because they have the easiest schedule of the three teams in the NFC West. They're either going to get the 5 or the 6, and in a long shot, they could get the number 1. They're going to get the 5 or the 6. The only thing that is left in the wild card for the Cowboys to have an opportunity to get into the wild card is the Chicago Bears. That is their only chance. Now let's flip over here to the road to the playoffs again. From here on out, we're probably only going to be focusing on the Bears, the Eagles, and the Cowboys. When you look at the Bears going down the stretch, the Bears are 9-4. One of my subscribers said that he believes that they are going to lose 3 of the next 4. I'm struggling with that. I'm not just struggling, I'm scruggling. SCRUGGLING. I'm struggling with that. The Browns, even though they've improved, the Bears have the Browns at home. I think they're going to beat the Browns in a close game. I even think the Bears are going to beat the Packers at home because they should have beat the Packers on the road. Caleb Williams had a misread. DJ Moore was the read. And if he throws that to DJ Moore, we're probably having a different discussion. Ben Johnson is going to get the coach of the year. His handicap for his team is Caleb Williams. And he's winning despite Caleb Williams. 9-4. I believe they beat the Browns. I believe they beat the Packers. And I also believe they even beat the Lions at home. I would not be surprised if they win 3 of their next 4. But at the very minimum, I think they win 2 of their last 4, which will put them at 11-6. And if they win 11 games, the Cowboys cannot beat them because they'd be a half game behind. But if they lose 2 games and the Cowboys win out, the Cowboys can get in through the wild card. And this is why the Cowboys have to really buckle down and focus. They have to win the next 4 games. Every single game is a playoff game. They cannot have any let off. Every single game, 1 game at a time, they have to win those games like the New York Giants did in 2011 and let everything fall where it may. Because I believe, again, because of that Eagles loss, if the Cowboys win out, they're going to the playoffs. They're either winning the NFC East, and in a long shot, they could possibly be the wild card. This is very important for the Cowboys. Then, as we go over here to, and just for giggles, looking at the 49ers, I think they got a very easy schedule going down the stretch. 3 of the last 4 games, like the Bears, are at home. They're going to beat the Titans. The Colts went and got Phillip Rivers out of retirement. What an embarrassment to the NFL. Phillip Rivers is 44 years old. I guess he's going to just get off the couch and come out and beat Joe Flacco. I don't believe it. Wasn't a huge Phillip Rivers fan towards the end of his career. They're going to beat the Colts. I think they're going to have a hard time with the Bears, and they're going to have a hard time with the Bears, but it will be at home. I also think they're going to beat the Bears. And then I think the Seahawks, even though they'll be at home, Seahawks could beat them. But I see them finishing with 11 or 12 wins. I don't see where the 49ers would lose 3 of the last 4. But hey, anything could happen any given Sunday. It's going to require any given Sundays. But the Cowboys have got to keep winning. And so when you look at the Cowboys, 3 of their last 4 games should be automatic wins, but you still have to play the game. I think the Vikings are going to come into Dallas and they're going to play the Cowboys tough. I think the Cowboys are going to pull it off. We're at home. I believe the Cowboys will bounce back from the Lions. I believe they were tired from that 4-game stretch. The Chargers, watching them against the Philadelphia Eagles, I don't think they have enough to beat the Cowboys defensively. I think the Cowboys can run the score up on the Chargers. I believe they beat the Chargers at home. The Commanders and the Giants, they'll be tough on the road. And I don't think those 2 teams have enough to beat the Cowboys. But the Cowboys will have to be ultra focused to beat the Commanders and the Giants, because I believe they both will be trying to play spoilers. And they're going to give the Cowboys, I believe at least in the first half, they're going to give the Cowboys their best shot. But the Cowboys, also like the 49ers, I believe they have the easiest or one of the easiest schedules down the stretch. The Vikings, the Commanders, and the Giants. Thankfully, we got the Chargers at home. They should be able to take care of business on the Chargers. And when you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, I had the Chargers in red. I figured it was going to be a loss. That was it was on the road. I figured it was going to be tough. I got the Raiders in white because I think they should win that game. But if Kenny Pickett plays, all bets are off. That game goes back into the yellow for me. I think Kenny Pickett with the Raiders, he came in last week. What did he score? Like 10 points when he came in. If he comes in this week, I believe they have a great chance at beating the Eagles because their defense is good enough to handle up on the Eagles. But the Raiders will have their hands full because even without Jalen Carter, 7 sacks, whoo, man, that's a lot. That could give the Raiders and Kenny Pickett problems, but we'll see. Then they'll have the Commanders. I think the Commanders are going to give them everything they can handle at home, and I also believe the Bills are just going to flat out beat them. The Cowboys have to take care of business. While I do not think the Eagles will collapse to the point of losing all 4 of the last games, I do think they lose 2 of the last 4 games, and that is going to tie them with wins with the Cowboys. They'll be 10-7. The Cowboys will be 10-6-1, and the Cowboys will win the NFC East. That's how I see all of this shaking down. Y'all tell me what you think. I gave you the historical data. I'm giving you what I'm seeing based on the trend. The Eagles are trending down. Cowboys are trending up. We'll see how this all turns out. But I truly believe the Cowboys are going to the playoffs if they take care of their own business. They take care of their own business. I think the help is built in. I don't think they're relying on the help. It's built in. They've won 3 of the last 4. The Eagles have lost 3 of the last 4. Cowboys are ascending. Eagles are descending. And we'll keep our eyes on the Bears just for fun, too. Y'all tell me what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Until the next time, DC4L, God bless. Let's talk Cowboys where we talk facts. Peace.